Welcome to another episode of the Jet and Mike podcast. Jet, how you doing?
Man, I'm chilling, hungover, but I think I'll survive. I just ate some taco gringo not too long ago, so.
You know, I never had taco gringo before.
Ooh, boy, you better got the chicken quesadillas on point. Their tacos, fire.
Better than better than Taco Bell?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
You putting it down like that? Taco gringo better than Taco Bell.
I'm putting my word on it.
Wow.
Got to, man. It's flamed. I know the chicken quesadillas bang way harder than Taco Bell's.
Really?
The tacos, man. I don't know, something about that sauce that they put on them tacos. Dog.
Oh my God. Okay. Another podcast for another day.
God,
Jet.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Jeez.
Fire.
Another podcast for another day. Right now, we have to talk about something that's been in the news all week long. 17-year-old gorilla, Harambe, silverback gorilla, rare gorilla, shot and killed in a Cincinnati zoo because a child fell over into the gorilla's pit. So they killed the gorilla to save the child.
Yeah.
Poor gorilla, first and foremost, is what I want to say. I mean, I think that, and reading more into this and finding out exactly what went on with the gorilla, it actually was saving the child.
All right, so when the child fell down there, I mean, if you notice from the video, when they're sitting in the corner, he was sitting there shielding the child. Now, here's one point that I've made over and over when discussing this with people, is that one thing that you have to keep in mind is that gorilla, if it's a male silverback, or I don't know if all silverbacks are males or whatever, I don't know gorillas like that.
It was a male gorilla.
It was a male gorilla. So you got to think that fight or flight, especially with a gorilla, those animals will fight. You know what I mean? So when that boy fell down there, he had plenty of opportunity to kill him if he wanted to. When you think about it, if he felt threatened in any way, shape, or form, he could have ripped that little boy to shreds as soon as he got down there. Right now, it's not bad enough, right? That these animals are abducted from their habitat, for the lack of a better term, are abducted from their habitat and isolated and put on lockdown pretty much for people's amusement. If that's not bad enough, what are you doing as a mother, as a parent? What are you doing that's so important that you cannot see your child is missing? That you can, now you got to think about it, and you seen the videos and you see like how low the thing was or whatever. So how long did it take for her to realize, oh, my child is missing? Because the child had to climb over a gate or something somehow, right, and climb down, into the pit. So as a mother, as a parent, mother, father, as a parent in general, as a carekeeper to a child, what are you doing so important that you don't realize that your child is gone until his life is in danger?
Right.
So we want to keep putting it on. And then I even saw a post that was like, do zoos sacrifice safety for closer looks or close-up looks? So why are we passing blame to the zoo? I heard something the other day that I just found out that this was a black child, and whose father, I guess, is in prison or was in and out of prison or something like that.
Why is that even
exactly? Why is that a topic of discussion? Yeah. They're trying to blame him. So he wasn't even there. It's just, oh well, if he had something, or a role model or something in his life, woo. So we're passing blame at the zoos. We're passing blame at the dad who wasn't even there. Why are we not scolding the mother? Why are we not scolding the guardian that was there with that kid that day, that allowed that kid to get out of her sight long enough for that little boy to fall down there and life be put in jeopardy? And then when he gets down there, now an animal just going off basic instincts as if he was in his own habitat, did what he thought was right, which wasn't even a malicious act. When he went and drugged the boy through the water, they do that in the wild with branches and things like that when to establish their I don't know, to establish their dominance or not is the correct way to put it, but like
right.
whenever they feel threatened, like that's their way of like, you know what I mean, saying like, let's get ready to go. So when he was sitting in the corner with the child and people start doing all the yelling and doing all that, that's when the gorilla kind of got, I don't want to say freaked out or whatever, nervous or whatever. So that's why he drugged the boy through the water like that.
Right.
So with all that being said, again, I say, why is everybody else the blame being passed to everybody else? And we have yet to look at this mother and find out why or how this child was able to get out of her sights and go down there. Fall down there, however he got down there, because I don't even know that full story.
Right.
But what I will say is, to the parent or guardian of that child, I do believe that, you know, if I can, you know, find some other evidences that suggest otherwise, that it wasn't your fault, I apologize in advance. But until that day, why are we not looking at her? We want to look at the zoos, and we want to look at a third party who wasn't even there, and we're not looking at the one person that should have been watching their child.
Okay. As far as my point of view on that goes, the child, first and foremost, you ought to know better than to climb over into a cage. I mean, let's just be honest. Like I said, that's safety numero one. I mean, you have no business climbing over or trying to get a closer look and stuff like that. I mean, there's signs everywhere that says all these things. I mean, first and foremost, under my mom's rules, you get what you got because you were being hard-headed. Yeah. So that's first and foremost. Secondly, I don't like America when it blames people that aren't even in the picture, and they try and psychoanalyze, you know, everybody and everything, and you do this because of your childhood, Jet.
Sure.
So Jet smokes because of his childhood, because there's other people going to basically say that's why you smoke.
Because I didn't have a role model to. No.
Yeah.
Because you make your own decisions at the end of the day.
At the end of the day,
you can choose to let that affect you, or you can choose to not let it affect you.
Right. I mean, and like I said, Jet, for all right purposes, even without, you know, having dad around, you're a wonderful person.
I appreciate that. You as well.
Anyways, that's my second point. We as people need to stop pointing the blame or trying to point the blame at everybody other than the numero uno person. It's the mom's fault. You know, it's the mom's fault. She allowed that boy to jump over, you know, into the cage. She wasn't watching him, didn't have her eye on him, you know, and she brought more kids than just him. It wasn't just him. But even still, you know, it's just like, you know, keep an eye on your child.
Exactly.
You know, and if you know that your child is restless or gets restless and stuff like that, then maybe that isn't the best venue to take your child to out in public where they could possibly get in danger like that.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. And then and like you said, with other people to look after, better be prepared for it. You know what I mean? You got to be prepared if you know you're going to be bringing all these kids or whatever, and you have to turn around and grab one, then you turn around and another one's gone. Why is that dad's fault? There's something that you're not doing at home, that your kids are running around out of control if you turn your head for 1 second. And I don't want to hear that's kids being kids, because as a kid, I could go to a zoo and knew that if I ran away from my mom or I'm being bad or something, I'm getting snatched up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
And
like my mom,
and it's a black mama too. That's crazy about it.
That's what's so
mama.
crazy about it is like, yeah. So I just turned my head for once. That's not an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
That's not an excuse because that child should know better than that.
Mm-hmm.
He's clearly old enough. I'm looking at the pictures and I don't know how old he is, for a fact. But I mean, he looks like a decent. He looks like a decent. I don't know, 6, 7 years old maybe.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So definitely old enough to know better. Definitely
Boy.
old enough to know better.
I'd have definitely got the belt when I got home for that one.
You know what I mean? It's not like this is a little 2-year-old baby that just learned how to walk and wants to touch everything in sight.
Right.
Shiny.
I think somehow the news and media allow the picture of this kid and the situation to be painted as the kid is like the Rugrats and like, you know, the cartoon, the Nickelodeon, the Rugrats cartoon of Nickelodeon. He's one of those, and this gorilla is some big ferocious gorilla from, you know, Planet of the Apes. You know, and it's like that's not the case at all. Like this gorilla was trying to shield and protect the kid who shouldn't even been there in that situation in the first place. And then you shoot the gorilla for doing what it's naturally known to do, which is to protect.
Exactly. For doing what his instinct told him to do.
And then,
like I said, it's not bad enough that you've got this man on lockdown, this gorilla on lockdown for the public eye, and they're extinct. I'm sorry, and I understand a point of why they didn't tranquilize him, because that's what I said. Well, why don't they tranquilize him? I was talking to my girlfriend, and she said she made a good point. She was like, well, you got to think, because if they put in assuming it did knock the gorilla out, there was a fear that it could have fell on top of the child. Okay, logical. Or assuming that it didn't knock him out, that could have got him riled up and agitated to where maybe he did hurt the child. Fair enough. I feel like there was another way to go about that without having to kill an already extinct species.
Right. Distract the gorilla. You know, take it to another part of the habitat, and then somebody run in there and snatch the child.
Right.
And take it out of there. You know, there could have been plenty of other things. They didn't try anything else. They just thought, oh, it's a big ape. Let's just shoot him. And
we gotta, and I feel like they thought that was justice for that family, for that mom, which it probably was to her. But it's like it's your fault, you and your child's fault for why any of this is going on.
Right.
That's like me sitting in the crib and somebody just climbing in the window. And then it's like me sitting in the crib, and then a little kid just walks into my house. And then the mom's like, "Oh, no, my baby is in the house." And then they come and shoot me in my crib. Cause they thought this child was in danger.
Right.
He climbed in my window. I didn't ask for him to come in here. I turned around. There's a little boy sitting in here.
Or let's sweeten that even much. The little kid climbs in your window. You actually, instead of kicking it out, try and find the mom and try and take care of the child.
Try to feed him. Try to make sure he's good. I'm trying to find mom.
Have Hannah Jo fix him some mac and cheese.
Exactly.
You know?
Some pizza, some mac and cheese.
You know.
And then the police knocking on my door like, "Oh, we found him." Pow. Like what? I don't get it.
I don't understand it either. And I think as America we need to do better, you know. And for everybody that's all for that gorilla being killed, you know, you really need to wake up and think. And that's just my final words about it. You really need to wake up and think. That's not okay.
What's wrong with y'all?
You know, if the gorilla was ferocious and if the gorilla was looking to harm the child, that's one thing. But we all know it wasn't.
It wasn't.
So
yeah. With that being said, I had to go off about that because I've been bottling that up. I've been waiting for today so I could get that out, man.
So we want you to like this post if you like what we had to say. If you didn't like what we had to say, tell us why. Tell us why you mad. Tell us why you heated. Tell us why you think that the mom is in the right, the gorilla's in the wrong. Let us know. Comment. We will gladly reply and give our point of views with you. We love a good debate. Yes. So make sure that you like, comment, share, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jet Mike, for more podcasts where we can argue with you. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Jet.
Peace.
It's been real, y'all.